Dear students, welcome back to my channel. In this class, let us discuss about a very important 5-mark derivation. So, as I said in the last class, derive an expression or obtain an expression for electric potential at a point due to an isolated point charge. Okay. So, in the last class, we have discussed about the concept of electric potential and electric potential difference, isn't it? So, what do you mean by electric potential? Okay, electric potential at a point in an electric field is the amount of work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to that point against the field direction, isn't it? Similarly, what is electric potential difference? Electric potential difference between 2 points in an electric field is the amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from one point to another point against the field direction or opposite to the field direction, isn't it? Okay. In this class, let us derive an expression for that electric potential. So, which is due to a point charge, an isolated point charge. So, here, as the question itself indicates, we should consider only an isolated point charge, whether it may be positive or negative. Let us take a positive charge. Okay, fine. See, let plus Q be an isolated positive charge, and we can expect the electric field from this positive charge like this, which is radially outwards. Okay, otherwise, why I am using radially outwards means if we take in all possible directions, the electric field will be. So we can imagine a closed boundary in the form of a sphere. Therefore, I said otherwise it is outwards. Okay. Okay. See. Now, let P be a point at a distance of some small r from this positive charge. So, which is also called as a source charge. Okay. Now, it is our intention to find the electric potential at this point P due to this isolated positive charge. And according to the concept of electric field lines, the field lines will start from the positive charge and they end at infinity in case of isolated positive charge, isn't it? Therefore, the direction of electric field will be like this and it will extend up to infinity. So, let us take that infinity here. Now, our intention is to bring a unit positive test charge from infinity to this point against this electric field. Electric field is like this and we have to bring that charge like this. Okay? Okay. So, can you tell me, bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to any point, is it a small work or huge work? Strictly speaking, an impossible work, but mathematically we will prove that. Okay, fine. See, for that what we do here means, we consider some point A at a distance of some x from that isolated positive charge, where we have to imagine a unit positive test charge Q0. Okay, see, let P be a point at a distance of small r from this source charge. Okay, similarly, let A be a point at a distance of x from this source charge, where we have placed a unit positive test charge Q0. And one thing you have to keep in your mind, what means actually we are all considering these things only inside vacuum. Okay, fine. Next. So, can you tell me what is the force between Q and Q0? That is force exerted by this plus Q on this plus Q0. What is the force? It is explained by Coulomb. According to Coulomb's law, the force on Q0 by capital Q is What type of force? Electrostatic force. Attraction or repulsion? Repulsion, since both the charges are positive. The force on Q naught by Q is, otherwise force exerted by this plus Q on this plus Q naught is, like that also we can write, is given by F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square, isn't it? Therefore Q into Q naught divided by R square. From this charge to this charge we are having a distance x, therefore it is x square. Since it is a vector, it is our duty to represent the direction of this F. Since it is a positive charge, it will repel this, therefore it is along E vector. Along E vector, isn't it? Okay, similarly. So now, so what is our duty? What is our intention? What is our target? That is to bring a unit positive test charge from infinity to this point. For that, since it is an impossible work, what we usually do means, first we bring this charge from Q naught to, this Q naught from A to some point B through a distance dx. First we will check whether it comes or not. Then we proceed to bring it from infinity to this point. Okay. Now let us move this charge Q naught from A to B through a distance dx against the field direction. Okay. Now the small work done in moving Q naught from A to B through a distance of dx against the electric field direction is, what is the formula for work done? That is W is equal to Fs cos theta. Since here we are doing the small work, we take dW is equal to F dx cos theta, where the angle theta is between F and dx. See, the direction of force is along E. Already we have said that. So this is E. This is the displacement. Therefore, angle between them is 180 degree. Therefore, here cos 180 becomes minus 1. Therefore, it is minus F dx, because theta is equal to 180 degree and cos 180 degree is equal to minus 1. Like that we have to represent. This is the small work done in moving that charge Q naught from A to B through a distance dx. Now see, we have to make use of a mathematical concept. Therefore, the total work done in moving plus Q naught from x is equal to infinity to x is equal to, see, from infinity to we have to move or bring that charge to point P. P is at a distance r. Therefore, from x is equal to infinity to x is equal to r is given by W is equal to integral infinity to r dW. What is the value of dW? That is minus, I will take that minus outside, integral infinity to r f dx. Next step, substitute the value of f from this. What we get? That is minus of infinity to r 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught divided by x square dx. Here, except this x, everything are constants. Take them out. Therefore, it is minus q naught divided by 4 pi epsilon naught integral infinity to r 1 by x square dx. What is the value of this integration of 1 over x square dx? Yes, you know about it. minus q naught divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. It gives you minus 1 over x within the limits r and infinity. Next, minus into minus plus. Therefore, it becomes q naught divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. So next, 1 over x or infinity. Next, first we have to put the value for x as r, then infinity. Therefore, it becomes q naught divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 over r minus 1 over infinity. So 1 over infinity is anyhow 0, and finally what we get here is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught divided by r. This is the value of total work done in moving a unit positive test charge from infinity to that point P. But actually, what we wanted the expression for electric potential, isn't it? How electric potential and work done are related? Since V is equal to W divided by Q naught, that is the amount of work done in bringing a unit positive test charge from infinity to any point in the electric field. What we can get here is 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q naught divided by r into q naught. Therefore, q naught get cancelled. Finally, V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by small r. This is the expression for electric potential at a point due to an isolated positive charge or simply point charge. Okay, see, I will repeat once again. So whenever you get this question in your examination, that is derive or obtain an expression for electric potential at a point due to an isolated point charge, then you have to consider a point charge. As the question itself indicates, you have to consider a point charge. Always try to take positive charge. From this positive charge, the direction of electric field is outwards. It will start from this charge and end at infinity, as you know well about it. Next, so in this electric field, at which point you need that electric potential? Say for example, point P. At P, I would like to know the value of electric potential due to this charge plus Q. So I will call that distance as some small r. Okay, fine. Now, so bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to any point, it is not an easy matter. Okay, so that's why what procedure we need to follow means we have to imagine that unit positive test charge at a point. Say for example A, which is at a distance of x from this source charge. Now, what is the force between Q naught and Q? Otherwise, what is the force exerted on Q naught by this Q? Means it is given by Coulomb's law. F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square, isn't it? Therefore, I have substituted the values of Q1 Q2 as Q into Q naught divided by distance square, that is x square. Since it is a positive charge, it gets repelled by this charge like this. Therefore, the force is along the direction of electric field. Next, first we will check whether that charge will move in the direction opposite to the electric field or not. Therefore, so we will mark some other point, some capital B at a distance of dx from A. Now we will check it first. So by driving or by moving this Q naught from A to B like this, small work done in doing so is given by dW is equal to F dx cos theta. That is force into displacement into cos theta. Theta is the angle between force and displacement. Force is along this direction, its displacement is along this direction. Since displacement is a vector, we know that the dot product of two vectors is a scalar, isn't it? Therefore, cos theta is theta 180 degree there, cos 180 is minus 1, Therefore, simply I wrote dw is equal to minus f dx. This is the small work done. Now, let us try to get the big one, that is the total work done in moving a unit positive test charge from infinity to this point. It is at a distance of x is equal to infinity. Finally, we need to bring it and place it here. Therefore, it is at a distance of r. Therefore, total work done in moving that charge from x is equal to infinity to x is equal to r is given by integrate w is equal to integral infinity to r dw. Next step is simple substitution method. In place of f, what we can write? This. Okay. On simplification, so till here we can get. Next, all these quantities are constants except x. Therefore, I have took them out and I wrote only 1 divided by x square within that integration symbol. The integration of 1 over x square is minus 1 by x. So that is according to your integration. Mathematics alli kaltkondirtira. See, I will tell you how it means. Integral of 1 over x square dx is question mark, isn't it? Okay. Make this, and you know this formula. Integration of x power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus some constant. Okay, see, I don't take that constant here. I will expand this using this formula. I will write this like this. 1 divided by x square means x power minus 2. Okay, so dx. X power, integrate ಮಾಡಿ. What you get? X power minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1. That is x power minus 1 divided by minus 1, which is minus x power minus 1, which is minus 1 over x. Like this. Okay. You should know this. Next, the integration of 1 over x square dx is simply minus 1 over x. This minus into minus will become plus. Therefore, it becomes just 1 over x. And when I apply the upper limit and lower limit, and you know that procedure, first you have to write substitute the upper limit and then the lower limit. Therefore, 1 over r minus 1 over infinity. As we know that 1 over infinity is equal to 0, what remains here is 1 over r. That's it. W is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught divided by r. This is the total work done in bringing a unit positive test charge from infinity to this point P against the field direction. So we are left with only one step. So actually which we needed? See, we need actually the electric potential. How electric potential and work done are related? Electric potential is the amount of work done divided by charge. Therefore, so on cancellation of that q naught, we get V is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r. So this is the expression for electric potential at a point in an electric field due to an isolated point charge. Okay, na? Okay, fine. Now what I will do, in place of a point charge, I will take a sphere, hollow sphere, another name for it is shell. In case of a hollow sphere which is uniformly charged, let us consider one hollow sphere, otherwise we can call it as shell, which is uniformly charged like this. Okay. Now I will put some positive charges at equal distances so that it means that the shell is uniformly charged like that. Okay. Let capital R be the radius of this shell. Okay. Now I will tell you three formulae. Just try to remember them. First one. Say for example, at some point P, at a distance of small r from the center, suppose O. What is the electric potential at P? The point P lies outside. Therefore, simply I will write V outside is equal to, according to Shell theorem, though the charges are present outside the on the surface of the shell, we have to imagine them at the center. Okay, that is what the Shell theorem says. Though the charges are present here, we have to consider them at center O, just like the concept of center of mass. Okay, now that charge, if you take these charges as a single isolated charge, from this charge at this point the potential will be that much. Therefore, it is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by small r. Next, what is V on the shell? Electric potential on the shell. Suppose if this point P lies here, means this R will reduce to this much, that is capital R. Therefore, V on the shell is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q by capital R. Now, the third case is V inside anywhere. What is the value of V inside? In my previous class, in the previous chapter, so I said something about the electric field or electric intensity inside, that is in the hollow space. What was the value of E? The value of E was 0. Please remember, I will tell you one thing. Okay, actually, so in my next class, I am going to derive this equation. Electric intensity is equal to negative potential gradient, that is minus of dV by dx. I will take this negative sign. I will not consider. Simply E is equal to d by dx of V. This is potential. This is electric field. Okay. What is the value of E inside the shell? That is 0. 0 is equal to d by dx of V. If you transfer this d by dx to this side, otherwise if you integrate it, means what you get? Integration of 0 dx is equal to V. If you integrate 0, what you get? Constant. Therefore, V is constant inside the shell. Therefore, V is equal to constant. And that constant value is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q divided by capital R. Please remember this. Okay now? Okay. Anyhow, thanks for